women's anatomy of arousal. She's such a beautiful woman and she fully embodies what she teaches. And we talked about how important it is for women actually to know their own anatomy, and that whatever is in the world is quite misleading. And when we know ourselves, what happens is that we stop feeling that there's something wrong with me. And I loved how she said it's more the map is wrong. It's not that there's something wrong with me. And I actually need to find my own way to turn myself on and also take responsibility for my own pleasure. Rather than expecting in our culture, there's this piece where we expect our partners to know how to pleasure us. But actually, it's so important to pleasure ourselves. And so Sheri Winston is just such a beautiful lady, and she wrote this book, Women's Anatomy of Arousal, which I highly recommend everyone reads, and I recommend to all the women in my course. And she talked about women's energy, more the female energy, right? We talked more about the energies, and most women have feminine energy predominantly in sexuality, and most men predominantly have masculine energy, but it can shift, and we can feel it at different times. But what's important to know is that for people with female energy, right? Feminine energy, it's like a pussycat. And when you want to connect to a pussycat, it does take time. And it does take us to approach a pussycat in the way the pussycat wants to be approached. It's the speed that works for the pussycat. And also, we need to create the safety, and we need to let the cat know that we can give the cat pleasure, right? And with masculine energy, it's more puppy dog love, right? Where the puppies, they just jump on you and they're fully engaged right there. And so that's the differences between the masculine and the feminine, and how important it is to actually find what works for you. And also, we talked a lot about making conscious choice. And I know lots of women that work with me, quite often they don't have the sexual desire, or they want, yeah. But some women go like, well, I don't even, why would I want this? Like, I'm postmenopausal, it's over for me. But it's an important piece to actually make a conscious choice and to want to experience pleasure, because pleasure is so healing for us. But we need to choose it rather than put it on the back burner and then see the relationships fall apart. Like, so many relationships fall apart because we don't put attention on pleasure and deep connection. And making a conscious choice and deciding, I want to experience pleasure, I want to connect to my partner in an intimate way, is such an important piece. So I'm going to put a full interview. We talked for an hour, and Sheri, she had so many amazing stories, and she's such an engaging speaker. And she really lives what she teaches. So watch the full interview. And at the same time, right now, I invite you to actually, what if you choose your pleasure? What if you choose connection? Rather than waiting for it to happen or putting it on the back burner or making your to-do list the priority. Actually, what if I choose to put my pleasure up in center? That this is something I need to focus on. I can't keep on waiting for other people to fulfill me, yeah, to please me, to make my life filled up with joy. I need to choose to go for pleasure, for joy, for connection. And yeah, I'd love you to listen to the whole interview. She's just the most amazing, Sheri Winston. And I'd love you to read her book, Women's Anatomy of Arousal. And she says, and I've got the book and I was recommended. And there's a chapter even for men, or for, people with, as she said, she used really funny words for that, but for masculine energy people, right? Or for people with penises. That you can read, there's a chapter just for you there about women's anatomy. And for women, taking responsibility for their own pleasure, knowing themselves, is so important. So yeah, please do comment below. You can email me, you can message me if you have more questions. And I would really love, I'm starting my course, 10-week course, Sexually Empowered Iranian Woman course, this Thursday, where we really go deeply into how do we turn ourselves on, how do we connect to our pleasure, how do we put our needs, our desires on top of our list. So I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested to know more about that, please comment below, or you can just private message me. I know it's a sensitive subject. And I'm Tarisha, and the interview is going to go on this Thursday, so I'd love you to watch my interview with Sheri Winston. Bye.